think that the PS3 had a much better run in the end than the Wii, and the 360 definitely had a great run.
I feel like the PlayStation brand tends to do really well at the end of the life cycle, where it's...
Yeah, they don't have the best launches. I mean, how many PS4 games are there out? And it's been out for like a year now?
Yeah, but I think that it's doing a better launch than the 360.
It is doing a better launch. It's probably the best system Sony has ever had.
Yeah, as far
Sales-wise, I mean. It's outselling the PS2.
by far. Or not. Oh, it's outselling the PS2?
Mm-hmm. If you align launches...
Oh.
That makes sense.
I'm assuming that's what you're doing, which would make
Yeah,
sense.
for launches. The life of the game, though, is what's...
It's like... just... It's not as popular as the Wii was, but it's pretty close.
What happened?
What, with the Wii?
Well, I mean, like...
Reality set in.
Reality set in.
No, I kid you not. Alright, we all bought a Wii. We all did. We can admit it.
Yeah, we all bought a Wii.
Yeah.
I was like,
But why did we buy it? I remember when I bought the Wii, I kept thinking about all the awesome things I could do with the Wii remote, which ended up being a complete lie because you needed Wii Motion Plus. But Nintendo never said that. They let you think it.
I never really thought that the Wiimote was why I wanted the Wii. I thought that they were going to have, the good games.
I think the Waggle actually killed it for me. Because all the games I ended up playing on the Wii were just games I played normally with little to no waggle. Like, I think the most waggle-intensive game I played was No More Heroes. Which isn't very much.
It's just, when I think about all this, like, I keep going back to the systems, and I think about, like, their lifespan. Of course, Nintendo kicked the crap out of everyone, because in the beginning, they were basically the best. Their system...
I wouldn't say kick the crap out of. They sold like 100 and something million.
What, I mean...
And then the PS3 and 360 got up to like 90 million.
No, I'm talking about, like, in the very beginning.
Yeah,
like,
in the very beginning, everyone bought it because everyone did the little imagination thing. They imagined themselves having a ton of fun with it. With the Wii remote.
Not the Wii, I'm talking about the original Nintendo console, the gray
The
box.
NES? Well, what else was there?
I know, exactly. That's how they started out. There was the Atari, and...
No, Atari was dead.
It was dead at the time?
Mm-hmm.
I
Pretty
swear.
much.
Well,
Video
they
game
really
crash
didn't
happened.
have any competitors because the games that they actually brought out were, well, for the time, much better than their competitors.
They didn't have any competitors, really.
Yeah. And then after that, the Super Nintendo hit, and with that, the Sega Genesis.
You want to reverse that. Genesis came out first.
Oh. Oh, was the Genesis in
88.
response to the Nintendo or something?
And no, it was a 16-bit. Because Sega had their Master System, which was an absolute failure. And then they had the Genesis. Genesis came out in 88, but I don't think people realize that because people think Genesis and Sonic, but Sonic didn't come out until the 90s.
Oh, okay. So, fine, Genesis and Super Nintendo, and what really clinches it there was, like, the games. Like, in the end, Nintendo won that because they had the better games all over the place. Like, tons of better games. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Sega had lots of good games that they just didn't have.
Sega did one really important thing. And they took Nintendo to court for monopolistic practices. Because they said, if you want to put a game on our system, you can't put it on any other non-Nintendo systems. And the court sided with Sega, and that's why you have multi-parties now that put games on multiple systems.
Which I think is very appropriate. It's good. Good competitive.
Yes.
You know what Nintendo has done on the flip side? They've been so innovative with their systems that you really can't play games on different systems. I mean...
Oh, I can.
With the touchpad, with the 3DS, like, how
How
you
often do you use a touchpad on the Wii games, honestly?
Have you used it this whole time, Harm?
No.
Not on this.
I can tell you right now, like, not on Smash. Like, I like the idea, because I was playing Smash before, and I'm like, you know, if this thing had a better battery life, I could unplug it and just play Smash from my bed. As opposed to on the screen.
Now that was a cool
But
guy.
this thing runs out of battery like shit fast.
Yeah.
It does.
It's...
Oh my gosh. Look at all
I'm
the-
surprised. Like, I thought mine was defective, but then you told me that yours didn't last long either. And I'm like, how? Who thought this was okay?
Ult. Murder them. Okay. So